Hi, everybody. My name is Carol Gregory. This is my first podcast. I'm really excited about it. I've been in ministry for over 30 years, and over these decades, I've witnessed firsthand the transforming power of God. And I believe wholeheartedly in his ability to bring hope into our everyday lives. And so today's podcast is called Hope for Today. Launching this podcast has been on my heart for quite some time. As I look around, I see so many people walking through difficult seasons. It's my conviction that the answers for a victorious life are found in faith and in all that Jesus has accomplished for us. He has carried our griefs and sorrows, but he also holds the key to living a victorious life. We are living in very uncertain times. This week, for example, we saw parts of the destruction of the Middle East, the uncertainty of life, while people were simply enjoying a swim on the beautiful beaches of Dubai. Their hotel lounge was shattered by debris. And the future of young people seeking new opportunities in the city were suddenly overshadowed by fear and uncertainty for their safety. Many years ago, Solomon questioned the profit of mankind and described it as vanity, as they toil under the sun. He speaks of the uncertainty of life. He speaks of a time to build up and then a time to break down, a time of laughter and a time of weeping, a time to be born, a time to die. He said, I've seen the God given task with which the sons of men are occupied. He said he's made everything beautiful in its time, but also he's put eternity in their hearts, except no one can find out the work that God does from beginning to end. So we can find the work of God in the beginning, then we can unravel God's work for us in the end. He has put eternity in our hearts. That is true. Pretty much every human has a sense of eternity deep within their hearts, but no one can find out the work God does from the beginning to the end. The words of salvation that I bring to you speak of the work of God from beginning to end. We've been introduced to the work of God by the revelation of the fearful and wonderful work of God's salvation that can come together full circle in your soul. I have words that will make the end what the beginning was meant to be. How amazing is that? David said in Psalm 139, verse 14, he said, I will praise you, for I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works. And he said, and that my soul knows very well. Mankind and the life he was meant to live were fearfully and wonderfully planned by God. God's plan for mankind's life was that it be extremely good, pleasant, remarkable. That is the meaning of wonderful. There was nothing in God or in his plan that represents life as we know it today. Mankind was never meant to live a life in this awful combination of good and evil with all its pain, grief, and death. God designed mankind and his life reverently with awe. This is the meaning of fearful. He did not do this in a manner that was fickle. He didn't say what will be, and he didn't add a dose of evil. Mankind and his life were designed according to an amazing image that God had within himself. We know Satan put a spanner in the works. He brought about man's fall with words, but we've been given words that will fearfully and wonderfully save us and restore us back to what our lives were meant to be in the beginning, fearfully and wonderfully saved. If our lives were originally so fearfully and wonderfully planned by God, surely you would expect no less of our salvation. The salvation in Jesus that I'm bringing you is wonderfully and fearfully created by God. It was wonderfully and fearfully thought out, planned, executed by Jesus, and has been revealed to us. Now it's just waiting for us to believe it. I'm bringing you the words that will give you and your house a wonderful life that God originally planned for man. In 1 Corinthians 1 verse 21, it says, for since the wisdom of God, the world through wisdom did not know God, it pleased God through the foolishness of the message preached to save those who believe. And then in Romans 1 verse 16, Paul said, I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God to salvation for everyone who believes. People look for the power of God unto salvation everywhere but in the right place. And so the message we preach is foolishness to the natural mind. It is, however, the wisdom of God. It will save those who believe. It is the power of God unto salvation. It is the power of God unto a perfect life, a wonderful life. The power of God unto a wonderful life is found in this message. Why don't you receive today? Well, we have the words that are able to give you a perfect life. We've seen how God designed it in the beginning, a perfect life for mankind, restored to us through the work of Christ. And it comes through a message. And as we receive revelation of that, it begins to transform our lives. So the words I'm giving you will cause you to see God in your soul. And if your soul sees God, it won't be long before your eyes see him coming with a mighty hand. If your soul sees him as mighty, you will become mighty in the Lord. I think of Cornelius in the book of Acts was a God-fearing man. He was generous to the poor, a man who prayed a lot, and he loved his family, but he didn't have the words to save his household. And so God observed this amazing man, and as he's looking upon your household and mine today, he sent him a messenger to tell him to call Peter, who had words that would save his household. These words that I preach to include the parables and concepts and spiritual side, God inspired. They're fearful, they're wonderful, they're not reliant on you to perform. You must simply honor them, receive them, meditate on them. They work in you while you sleep, while you're awake. You'll abound and abound and abound and reign in life. Simply receive them. They'll cause it to go well with your soul, with your children, your career, your plans, your dreams, everything that's wrapped up in your soul. And if your soul sees God, it won't be long before your eyes see him coming with a mighty hand. If your soul sees him as mighty, you will become mighty in the Lord. So the circumstances of your life may have changed, but God has not. Hear these concepts. The hope has not changed. Hold fast. God is faithful. He doesn't change. Honor the grace of God, and the grace of God will honor you. God's grace is reaching out to save us where we live, where we suffer, where we need him, where he can make everything good. Your too late is not too late. No trouble is too much trouble. Nothing ever is too severe or too final for him. He's always willing. He's always able. There's no law on earth that can stop him from making your life good if you believe he can. The hope I'm giving you will restore the past, deliver you from the present, fix what needs to be fixed, and provide you with uttermost salvation. The hope will fix the injustices of the past and make everything perfect. He will come into your house and fix the injustices, wipe away tears, overcome the things that cause pain and sorrow, fix what needs fixing, heal what needs healing, drive out pain until there's no more, bring life where there is cursing, abound and abound until he makes everything perfect. He'll find every member of your house. He'll come in silently, he'll come in suddenly, he will come in with a mighty hand. I say, I need this. I want this. I'm saying it's on your doorstep. Everyone who sees your life will see his mighty hand. This list could go on, and we have a beautiful picture painted on our souls with these concepts in our hearts. They're part of the work of God from the beginning to the end, to come together in your soul to save you in your life completely. They are words that bring Jesus into your home. They're words of salvation, words of life, words of power. Welcome to the most fruitful time of your life, no matter what it may look like right now. It's on your doorstep. Jesus is knocking at your door, opening the door, coming in, spending time with you, chatting, sharing things, dining with you, and talking you through things, meeting you in the very place where you are in life. I think of the men who were on the road to Emmaus, and they were discussing the events of the weekend when Jesus had been crucified, and they'd heard rumors of his resurrection. And so they were discussing it, and Jesus caught up with them. And they didn't recognize him immediately. But then when they sat down and ate a meal, suddenly their eyes opened, and he began to open up the revelation of the hour. Let God meet with you at your table, in your fellowship, in your quiet time. And let Him open up to you the beautiful truths I've shared today, the beautiful salvation that He has provided, the awesome, wonderful life that He has for you and for your family. Hope to see you next week, same time. God bless.